Welcome to June, Cooking with Sal and Pat here at the beautiful Kitchen Connections downtown Casper. Once again, Pat, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
June is barbecue season, and we have a veritable barbecue feast for you today. Pat has made us his famous stuffed burgers. I have made baked beans, and strawberry delight, a family favorite recipe of my mother's. So, without further ado, let's dig in.
All right, Sal, at my house, this is how we do our stuffed burgers.
Awesome.
Basically, we just take the hamburger and anything you want to put inside the burger, we stuff it with it. So basically, if you want bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, blue cheese, doesn't matter, whatever you want in it, you kind of just put those on the side. At my house, we kind of just pick whatever you want, put it in the burger.
So everybody gets their own.
Everybody gets whatever they want burger.
Do you use fatty meat for the grill or
Well,
lean?
I use a mixture of both.
Perfect.
Yep, I do both that way. I like the fatty. My wife likes the lean. Therefore, if it's too lean, you can't make good patties out of it.
Right.
So the first thing we're gonna do is cut up some onions, just
Okay.
some scallions. I like scallions better than onions.
Why is that?
I just like the flavor of them better.
Cool.
A
little milder.
little milder. And because we're just gonna be dropping them into the burgers,
Sure.
I'm just gonna mince them up so they cook. The onion's the only thing I don't pre-cook for the burger because I figure they cook quick enough.
Sure.
Plus a little bit of a raw onion is not bad. The cheese, basically, I'm going to cut the hunk right down the middle.
Okay.
I like using the hunk cheese or the hard cheese. You could also use the Velveeta cheese. Basically, all we're doing is making the middle gooey, chewy, so you have a lot of cheese right there in the middle.
So those are kind of slabs then.
Yeah, just little slabs that you're gonna.
So you're gonna get about 8 from one hunk.
Yep.
Okay.
And sometimes I even I do one in solids and one in halves.
Oh, okay.
Let's just do them both in halves, just so we can get them through the burger better.
Sure. Okay.
So I already got the mushrooms pre-cut. Basically, we're just chopping those.
Okay.
Got the onions here.
Okay.
Bacon, you can't do burgers without bacon.
Absolutely not.
I don't know how much salt or how much pepper I have here. I just go by taste.
Okay.
I'm not big on measuring. So prior to us starting, I just did what I thought we'd need.
Okay.
Basically, we're just gonna pour this all in here.
Okay.
I like a lot of cheese, so I even put a little bit more cheese.
Ooh, cheese
on cheese.
Double cheese sounds great to me.
One thing we need to cut up is the jalapenos, and I love cutting jalapenos because I love how your fingers are the rest of the day. Myself, I don't like touching the vein that much, and I leave the seeds and everything in there just because once it gets mixed up with everything, you're adding as much or as little as you want to each one of the burgers. So it's not like you're going to be overloading what you don't want.
Sure.
All right, so you got your jalapenos, you got your cheese, you got your mushrooms, you got your onions. The one thing I like in mine, everybody thinks it's weird.
Oh, baby. Oh, no.
I like chopping up. Did you get that for me?
Not weird at all. I love pickles.
So I'll do the same scenario with the pickles. One sliced on the middle.
And you start with the stackers just because there's less slicing.
Yeah, less slicing.
Perfect.
So then we got everything kind of pre-prepped. The next thing we need to do is make our burgers.
Okay.
So we're going to mix everything up. And I'm big just hands-on.
Sure. So this is just the seasonings and the cheese in the bowl with
Correct.
the burger.
Correct. Okay. And the seasonings can be whatever you want to. If you want it to be spicy, you can put spicy seasonings in there.
Sure.
Salt and pepper for burgers is just basically all you need at my house. Alrighty, so basically you have your burgers how you want them.
Okay.
We're just going to stuff one side of them only.
Okay.
So that's when you ask everybody how much cheese, how much does everybody want. Okay. So I'll try to get 2 of these in the middle on each one. I just stuff on one side. That way we're not mixing it back and forth. Like I said, the hard cheese, it's not going to melt as quickly. I try to keep that in the fridge as long as possible.
Okay.
Then the bacon. Can't have too much bacon.
Correct.
The only negative about the bacon, it does make it hard to make a hamburger patty. So at my house, what we kind of changed, minus the stuffing of the cheese in the middle, I started using all these ingredients at the very beginning in the mixing bowl. and just mixing it all in as part of the
still
burger.
pre-cook the bacon?
Still pre-cook
Yeah.
the bacon. And the mushrooms. The mushrooms I kind of chopped them up previously already, and plus I kind of squished them a little bit just to break them down a little bit more. And like I said, there is no wrong way to make any of these burgers. Unless, of course, you don't like mushrooms, bacon, onions, and pickles. At the Christensen house, you don't come to leave hungry ever. We did.
So do you make sure the sides are completely sealed?
I try to do as best as possible.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of why you want to keep everything in the beginning, but I keep on pushing everything out and then back in. Alrighty, we're basically just gonna put the 4 burgers on. Awfully small burgers, so make sure everybody's not hungry at all. Alright, basically we're gonna set it and forget it. We're just gonna leave it here for about 5 to 8, maybe 10 minutes per side. Just depends what the coals tells us what we need to do. So set it and forget it.
The perfect side for Pat's stuffed burgers is baked beans. My mom has always made baked beans one particular way. So it's a really great recipe. It is a little bit involved only because the ingredient list is wrong, but I think we're going to put it together in about 10 minutes or less.
Perfect.
In this beautiful skillet, I have half a pound of ground beef, about 5 or 6 strips of bacon diced, and half a cup of chopped onion. And those have all been married together, sizzling away in the skillet. Now we're going to add all of the seasonings, and this is where the ingredient list comes in.
I think we've had bacon on everything we've cooked so far.
Well, I would like to aspire to that,
yeah.
Honestly.
We need to make bacon dessert next.
Of course, like every recipe in America, this is eminently adaptable. If you don't eat bacon, leave it out. If you want these to be vegetarian, leave out the ground beef and the bacon, and you can buy specifically vegetarian baked beans that have no bacon or bacon flavoring added. Of course, in my house, there's bacon in everything, as there is in your house.
Oh, yes. Are these vegan beans?
So they are not vegan
not vegan beans.
That's what I'm telling you. They are loaded beans. These are completely loaded beans. So here we go with the ingredients. 1/3 of a cup packed brown sugar. 1/4 of a cup of white sugar. I know, this is not exactly a diet recipe. 1/4 of a cup of ketchup. Most of these condiments you're going to have for your burgers anyway. That's why these go so perfectly with burgers. 1/4 of a cup of barbecue sauce. So basically this is kind of like eating your burger within your beans, but it's all delicious. 2 tablespoons of molasses. Thick, dark, ooey, perfect molasses. 1 jar of molasses will last you like years, so don't
2 or 3 lifetimes at my house.
And if you can't find molasses in the baking aisle, look in the pancake syrup aisle. That's where I found it. Oh, I need that little spoon. Pardon me. And regular grade yellow mustard. This is 2 tablespoons. So it's 2 tablespoons of the molasses, 2 tablespoons of the yellow mustard. And just a little bit of chili powder, half a teaspoon or so of just regular grade chili powder. And honestly, that's all there is to it. So all of these beautiful seasonings, now you're blending in with your ground beef, bacon, and onion. Ooh, I wish you could smell this. Can we have smell-o-vision, please? Ooh, it smells so good. You're going to want to do these before you worry about your burgers. And I realize that not every cook has the luxury of having 2 cooks in the house. So go ahead and do your beans first. So the bean choices are 2 cans of baked beans, 1 can of garbanzo beans, and 1 can of pinto beans. Make any selection that you want, any mixture that you want of beans. Just use 4 cans for this amount of seasoning. Okay? And they go, oh, and what do you drain and what do you not drain? Do not drain the baked beans because most of them come already highly seasoned. So do not drain the baked beans. Go ahead and drain your garbanzos and your pinto beans. Thank you.
You betcha.
Now we're just going to give these a big whack stir like this.
Whacking the beans.
And I have the luxury of using a pot that is stovetop to oven ready. So
that is cool. I like that a lot.
If you have an oven ready sauce pot, that's the way to go with this. So now we're going to put it in this fabulous double oven. 350 degrees.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
All right, it's been about 10 minutes, I think, and let's check them. When the cheese starts putting the coals out, you know they're about perfect. So everything feels pretty good. Let's check, flip one over, so it looks like. That looks perfect. So we don't want to forget which one has jalapenos on it, so we'll take those ones off first. Oh, that looks good. Yep, those are all perfect. Alrighty. Put a meatball on that one little bit left over that we had. Put that on there for a little dessert. Alright, I'll let these sit about 5 minutes under tin foil, let them rest. That way the juices get all back into the burger. We're ready to eat.
I'm going to show you how to make my mom's favorite strawberry delight. This is a great, great recipe for anything you need pink. A wedding shower, a bridal shower, a wedding shower, bridal shower, baby shower for a girl, anything at all. And it's also a delicious, light, ice creamy summer dessert, perfect for barbecue. So let's get at it. It's 4 ingredients. 1 store-bought angel food cake, chunked up.
You just pulled that apart, right?
Pulled it apart. You're going to want to put wax paper in the bottom of a 9x13, and that just makes taking it out for presentation a lot easier. This is a recipe that needs to set up in the refrigerator overnight. If you don't have overnight, or you want to be sure that it's really solid, you can stick it in the freezer and it'll be just fine. So either refrigerator or freezer when we're finished. So in here we have 1 whole angel food cake. When you use the whole angel food cake, it sets up a lot more solidly than if you try to use just a portion of it.
You have the coolest bowls.
Thank you. I spend a lot of money on those. I'm kind of addicted. 1 large package strawberry jello in 2 cups of boiling water. 1 quart of vanilla ice cream softened. If it's summer, put it on your counter 2-3 hours. You don't want it completely liquidy, but you want it definitely softened, just exactly like this is.
That looks like heaven already.
Vanilla ice cream and strawberries, So basically what you're going to think of is that this is a fancied up strawberry shortcake, and you would not be wrong. And then 1 large package. These are sliced strawberries in sugar in the frozen fruit section of your grocery store. In the olden days, when my mom and I first began making this recipe 30 years ago, they were called strawberries in heavy syrup. Now that everyone is very healthy, it's very, very hard to find strawberries in heavy syrup. So if all you can find is strawberries and sugar, that's fine. And now we're just going to work with this, meld it together. How long this takes will depend upon how soft your ice cream is and how frozen or thawed your strawberry mixture is. What the goal here is to marry these 3 ingredients together. So you have 1 large package strawberry jello in 2 cups boiling water, 1 large package sliced strawberries in either heavy syrup or sugar, and 1 quart vanilla ice cream softened. So we're marrying these 3 ingredients together.
Have you tried different colors, like the grape flavor and stuff like that, to get different colors going?
I have not, but I was thinking as I was making this at home that if you wanted to use a different flavor of jello, like maybe cherry jello and chocolate ice cream.
There you go.
I think that for chocolate lovers, you could do that quite easily as well. I like the fluffiness of the angel food cake, so I wouldn't necessarily, it's a definite different consistency than a layer cake, so I wouldn't necessarily mess with the kind of cake necessarily, but of course you can do whatever you want, and then it's just going to change your consistency a little bit. So you want the larger lumps of ice cream to be dissolved, but you don't have to stand here and stir until all of the ice cream is dissolved, certainly. And I think that we're ready to go. So here's the magic. I'm going to make a big mess on this beautiful countertop. And when you're entertaining for a barbecue or a shower that you're hosting, you have to do this super early in the day or the night before. So again, that's one more thing knocked off your to-do list.
So we got an easy barbecue coming up. Everything's almost done.
Really easy barbecue coming up. The only hands-on is your burgers. The side is finished. The dessert is finished. Now that's just going to rest in the freezer or the refrigerator. We'll put it in the fridge. Today I'm wearing the Iris Clubhouse apron. The Iris Clubhouse is a nonprofit here in Casper, Wyoming that is dedicated to adults with severe mental illness. The idea is that if you give them a project and give them tasks and put them in a community where they feel comfortable with one another, they're going to be able to have real success. They meet here in Casper 3 days a week. They actually cook and prepare a meal. Everyone has their own tasks, and it's just a place for them to go and relax. The clubhouse movement is international. There is a definite need for many more clubhouses and many more hours of operation right here in Casper, Wyoming. And if you'd like more information, I'd encourage you to go to irisclubhouse.org.
Sounds like a great place.
It is a wonderful place.